AFTV, you heard Belgium there. He's just saying to everybody, don't worry, it's all good. But a couple of weeks ago, at 8 points clear, game in hand, looking good, playing great football. Since then, it's a worrying dip. And we're no longer top of the league.
Yeah, there is a couple ways to look at it. And the way I choose to look at it, there are maybe external factors. I don't want to make excuses for it, but
I'll try.
It is. I don't know. I'm going to try to choose my words carefully, but I'm disappointed with the result, not necessarily the performance, because I'm thinking back to the Everton game, and we played bad that game. We played really bad. And then come the Brentford game now, there were reasons why we didn't win that game. Don't want to get into it, but we played better. We played a lot better. And yeah, Brentford played well. They're a difficult team, but I think we were the better team. And today, again, I think we've come here and we've stepped up from the Brentford game. So just because the results aren't going our way, it doesn't mean that the team's form is dipping. We played well. We played against.
It's dipping. Come on, man.
It dipped.
I don't see the same intensity that I saw in Arsenal a month ago. I don't. You know what I mean? If you compare the performances against Tottenham away and the way we were just on teams, I'm not seeing that right now.
No, I'm not seeing it either. But Robbie,
So how can you say it's not dipping then?
No. The performance isn't dipping. It's not a downward slope. It maybe had a down patch, and we're getting back to what we were before. We're getting back to our best, Robbie. This is a good team. Man City is a good team. And any team, this goes for anyone. You have to be at your best to beat Man City, right? With a couple of injuries, it's always going to be difficult to come out and be your best. You know, I heard the news that Partey was out earlier today, and I thought, oh God, it's going to be very, very difficult to win this game now. And you know what, as the game went on, it dawned on me that maybe the Thomas Partey replacement was under all of our noses the whole time. It wasn't Jorginho, it wasn't Fabio Vieira, maybe it's Zinchenko. Because from those games, I kept seeing Zinchenko. I laughed it off against the Brentford game, but sometimes I'm like, hold on, Zinchenko's playing left back. I see him in the middle of the pitch. I see him out on the right. Maybe he needs to be advanced forward, and maybe that will allow Martinelli to have more freedom and bring the best out of other players around. And yeah, Tierney's been doing well for us as well, so maybe Tierney deserves to come in. Zinchenko can move into the middle and be the replacement for Partey.
So you still think you're not overly worried? You still think, you know, we're right in this race?
It was a 6-pointer today and we lost it. So obviously that's worrying, because I think psychologically it has a bigger effect than it does in terms of points tally, because we're joint first on points with the game in hand. That's not a bad position to be in. We built up that lead so that if this happens, we'd be all right. So I'm not overly concerned with, the league's gone. I'm not in that boat. I'm not in the boat of the wheels have come off. I'm in the boat of we need to go to Villa and put in a performance maybe a little bit better than that one, and we'll be right back up there. You know?
What about you? Were you worried?
Me, I'm not worried. I think Saturday we got to slap up Aston Villa, and that's it really.
It won't be easy.
It won't be easy, but at the end of the day, I think this was literally just a Pep masterclass. He had Diaz on Ødegaard the whole time. We didn't have Partey in the midfield to actually get the ball and turn out and spread it and spray them passes. So I think that it's just one of them ones where we got to regroup and think about what Aston Villa are going to bring to the table and just give 100% like we do as usual. Do you know the ones there? But I want to say big up my guy Per Mertesacker, you know the ones there for patterning the tickets for me and my guy Nathan. You know the ones there, you know, we just enjoyed club level, you know what I mean? Nice. But yeah. I think we're good. We got a decent run of games. We got Leicester, we got Bournemouth. Do you know what I'm saying? We got Everton. So I think the title charge begins today. We got a game in hand where if we win this game, Robbie, we're 3 points ahead on Saturday. We got to remember, last season we were struggling to get into the top 4. So we got a young group of lads. They need morale. They need arms around them so we can boost them. And once we boost them, just like the young'uns in the ends, when we boost them, then they go and do miraculous things. It's the same thing. That's it. You just got to boost the young'uns, man. Boost Martinelli, boost Saka, and I think we're good.
Are you agreeing with that? Okay, get my man in here.
How you doing?
Come around here, man. Come around here.
I just want to say...
Come around this way. Come around. We can't see you, bro.
No, I just want to say I appreciate your show. I watch this when I'm in New York all the time.
Oh, bless, man.
We flew all the way from here from New York to watch this game.
Were you disappointed with the performance?
I wasn't really disappointed because I feel like I know the issue that was going on. I don't like to make excuses, but I feel like if you really think about it, I'm very spiritual. Like kind of like Kelechi is, I'm Nigerian. I'm very spiritual. So Partey, if you think about it, all the games that we didn't have Partey, we lost this season. If you think about it, FA Cup, he didn't play. Against Man U, he didn't play when we lost like 3-1. When they subbed him out against Everton, they scored and they beat us. And this game he didn't play. So I don't think it's a time for us to panic. I feel like we're underestimating these lower teams. Like, we're looking at the title race, but there's another title race within the top bottom, you know? So everyone's coming to die, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's coming to die and get 3 points, get a draw. So I just feel like we got to also understand that this is the youngest team in the league. So right now is not the time to just be like stepping on them, you know? Like, we got to lift them up because, like, we seen what the crowd
Do you still believe, though? It's all right saying all those things, youngest team, but do you still believe that this team, because that ultimately we want to win the league?
How about this, Robbie? I still believe we can win the league. You know why? Because I feel like we're going through our blip right now. We're going through our little stumble, and I feel like this is good now because we were so hot. You're gonna win. You're gonna lose some. We were so hot the other day we had to cool off. But I feel like now we're gonna pick up form again. We're gonna pick up form again.
Second win.
In the second stage of the season, we're gonna pick up form, and then it's gonna be like maybe not like every win. We're gonna win, draw, but we're gonna pick up points. But I feel like we're just going through a stage right now, a transition, and we just gotta get through. You know.
Okay, let me get my man there. What about you? You getting worried?
A little bit, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be a walk in the park. And every team will have a blip within the season. This is our blip right now, but we have to end that blip as soon as possible. Villa away is going to be tough, but if we can get a win there, obviously I think we're Leicester away after that, and then we've got a game in hand against Everton. So a little bit worried, but every team has a blip.
Okay. Worried?
Yeah, man, I think that after that FA Cup game against Man City, we lost momentum in that game. Now we've lost confidence, and I feel like we've got a lot of players that are underperforming and like they lost of form and confidence, you know what I mean?
So you worried?
Very worried, yeah. Yeah, I can't lie, I'm worried, man. We need to win on Saturday, definitely.
Have to.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm worried. I mean, you're going into Aston Villa. Unai Emery, he wants to get back at us. Like you just know it. I think once
listen. Let me just say, on the Villa thing, they lost to City at the weekend, and previous to that, their previous game they got beat. I think it was at home to Leicester, wasn't it? Got 4 put past them. So it's not a game that's not winnable. But we got to win.
I think it's just that history, though. Just like the fact that he was at the club and then, you know, he got out the door. Now he's come back in. He wants to like perform. I think if we can get like a decent result against Aston Villa, we could be okay. But if we lose or draw, I think we'll go down. I understand Kelechi's like spirit, like he's happy. You know, he wants to keep on going. But we're getting to a point where, you know, we need the signings. We need the signings.
You worried?
No, I wouldn't say I'm necessary. We're like at the same time, like we're playing City at the end of the day. You know, it's unfortunate
These are the teams we've got to beat
course.
if we're going to win the league.
Of course, 100%. But at the end of the day, we're missing Jesus, who's a massive player. You know, like it's a big difference between Nketiah and Jesus. Don't get me wrong, I love Nketiah. He's done good for the club. But it's a massive difference, and we did play well today. We just got unlucky with the counter-attacks, and especially Jack Grealish's goal. You know, it's unlucky. You know, we did well. I watched the game. I thought to myself, I was like, we did well. It was just the unlucky chances. But you know, as long as we come back against Villa, I don't even think we necessarily need to win. We need to smack them because we're coming into this game. We need to get our confidence back. We need to get everything back. And as soon as Jesus comes back, I feel like we really do have a chance to win the league. And I don't think it's over at all. In fact, I think we're still strong in it. We're a game behind and we're still level with City. And we have the potential to win the league. And I fully do believe we have what it takes. I really do.
For me,
Worried. You look worried.
I'm worried. I'll tell you what's
come up
worrying
to
me.
him, I look on his face and you look worried.
I'll tell you what's worrying me, Robbie, is the defending at home, especially at this stadium. It's unacceptable. Giving goals away, players not organised, not being disciplined enough, not marking on set pieces. But today, if you look at the intensity today, that reminded me of how well we were good at it from August up until November. Right, we've taken, from December or late December, we've suffered a dip in form. No wins in 4. Out of 9 points, we've got 1. Yeah, and we're going into the Villa game out of form. But the thing is, we're level on points with City, we're second, but we still have an opportunity to win our first league title in 19 years.
You think we can do it?
I believe we can do it if they can get over this little blip, as soon as possible. who's to say that we cannot put a win together and City go and drop points elsewhere? Because they're not the same City as last season. The City of last season were completely
They look
ruthless.
good today.
They were good today. Disappointed in the manner that Tommy Yasso gave the ball away. But however, he didn't let him phase him. If you look at the equaliser, we deserved it. 1-1 at half time. We go into the second half. I thought the levels should have. I thought the levels was going to go up a notch or two. But again, one of our biggest mistakes this evening was playing out from the back. Time and time again, we played into City's hands for playing out at the back. Pep Guardiola brought that playing out from the back into this country, just like Wenger brought the nutrition into this country. Two different styles. And for me, we paid the price for it with the second goal. Gabriel should never have given the ball away by being casual. And then if you look at the third goal, we gave the ball away. Shinchenko, his defensive duties have been exploited there. And Kevin De Bruyne cleverly ran in behind him and cut back to Haaland, who's never going to miss while he's in the penalty area. So for me, I have to give praise into Man City where it's due. They deserve to win it. They were more clinical than us. Eddie Nketiah, 3 opportunities, unfortunately not on target. Haaland needs 1 opportunity on target and he scores. End off.
100%.
You worried?
Not worried, disappointed. I flew in from Toronto to watch the game. So disappointed, but this is the game we would have expected to lose the beginning of the season, right? So the games that we should be worried about are the Brentford game and the Everton game and the Villa game next week. This one,
Not
City...
next week, Saturday.
Or Saturday,
Not even
yeah.
a long turnaround time.
Well, but yeah, I mean, the next game is what we should be worried about. We should be beating Villa. We're second. We have a game in hand. So I still believe we can win the league. Players are going to come back. Jesus is going to come back. Partey is going to get fitter. And I still believe, yes.
We'll bounce back Saturday. It's a deflated defeat today, but...
You're not saying that with a lot of
I know, man. I'm not saying it's because it's PTSD that kicks in all the time, Robbie, man. But I just felt like Arteta missed the trick tonight, man, with the starting lineup. I would have started Trossard, and I would have sacrificed Martinelli, or potentially even played Trossard in that Jesus role and kept Martinelli on so the front three's fluid. So I think that's the difference. When Jesus plays, he occupies the left and the right, and he can drop into the 10. Like, he's very versatile. But Thomas Partey, big blow tonight as well, man. Like, you could just see when he's not in the midfield area, Rob, the engine. Jorginho, listen, he didn't have the baddest of games today, but it's like he's just not Partey, man. He's just not. Like, when he's in that midfield, we just tick differently. And I think Xhaka missed Partey tonight, man. But listen, it's not all done and dusted. I think we could, if we bounce back and we beat Villa, we still have that game in hand. We have to win that game in hand. For me, it is worrying though. We haven't won it's such a coincidence. We've lost tonight, and we lost against Man City. It was the first game of the run that we literally lost. But we could kick on from here, man. We're Arsenal, and listen, every team's gonna have their blip. City will drop points later on in the season as well, man.
We hope so.
We hope, anyway.
You worried?
I'm still optimistic. I'm disappointed after the result of today, but still very optimistic that we can do it. The season is still very long. We have still 1 game in hand, and I think if Michael can pick the boys up again, get the morale back up, and we can get back to a winning streak and get the momentum going again, I think we can still do it.
Worried?
Not worried again, disappointed. I think this was probably the worst time we could have played City, especially this season. I think if we played them back in November, we probably would have beaten them. I think defensively, it's just we need to cut out these mistakes if we're going to win the league. I think they're getting too comfortable in the back. I think they need to stay on their feet and play their game, you know. The 2 mistakes cost us today. Also, not to take a shot at Eddie, but I think now that we have Trossard, we should try playing Martinelli maybe one game in the center and playing Trossard out wide and see how that works out. If it doesn't work, we could always sub him out, switch it up. But I think it's worth giving it a try while we have Jesus out for a little bit. But other than that, I think we need to win against. I mean, we have to win against Villa and just get our run going again and get our confidence back. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. As you can see there, you know, I mean, most of the fans still pretty optimistic, but it has definitely been a big setback tonight. But chance to bounce back against Aston Villa. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.